Mirroring the XBL semifinals, a number 5 seed takes on the number 1 seed here in today's AAA semifinal series. The winner of this matchup between corruptionz and JamPaladin will move on to the AAA World Series. The Pawtucket Prowlers have been able to mount a charge in this postseason, upsetting the number 4 Pizza Volcano and his Moon Kingdom earlier just this week. But JamPaladin Surfers have been dominant and consistent throughout this season, dropping only 2 losses across 34 games. What will we see in the first 2 games of this AAA semifinals match? With how this playoff season has been going, it really is anyone's guess. Good morning from sunny Southern California, and welcome to this production of the XBL Cross-Platform Baseball League. I'm Light Snack, aka Florabelle, aka your play-by-play announcer. With me on color commentary is the disembodied voice of Weaver for Prez. Weaver, this is the last semifinals matchup across all of the XBL. What's your hot take coming in here?
Hot take time. This is going to be a nasty good series. These two guys faced off in a scrim. Okay, I know it's a scrim, but these two faced off in a scrim just before the season started. That at the time was probably, it's not every day that a scrim gets people talking, and all hyped up. These two played a 25-24 scrim right before the playoffs. It was one of the more memorable ones. And these two are just offensive juggernauts. JamPaladin led the league in every offensive category except for one, and that was walks. And who led in walks? That would be corruption. So a good matchup. I'm positive of it.
It feels like it really is 2 batting-focused teams going to be going at it today. Another mirror from an XBL semifinals match, although not the number 1 versus number 5 there. It's going to be, we feel like, a lot of hitting. Do we think that we could see those huge double digits between both of these teams again in this postseason series?
I'd be a bit shocked if we didn't. We know JamPaladin is not going to be suppressed easily. He's far and away the best hitter in the AAA. The question will be, can corruptionz keep up enough to keep games from getting out of hand, to avoid those potential mercies, and to give himself a shot late in games to make comebacks like we know he's capable of. Both of these guys, excellent hitters. Jam more power approached. Corruptionz 100% contact swinging.
Definitely. We saw some of that contact swinging in the quarterfinal series earlier this week between corruptionz and Pizza Volcano. And speaking of mercies as well, in that last day of games, corruptionz came in with a 2-0 lead. In Game 3 against Pizza Volcano, he was mercied by Pizza Volcano in just a few innings there. Does that give concern for corruptionz and Prowlers fans coming into this series knowing the huge amount of hitting that JamPaladin can produce?
I'd say maybe a bit. We know corruptionz is going to be he's going to try and be as careful as he's ever been. I don't know if he's necessarily thinking about what happened in the pizza series. He's a head down competitor, one of the best competitive guys we have. He's only thinking about Jam. He wants Jam. He wants this bad, and it's going to be up to Jam to not get complacent. It's going to be up to Jam to keep up the approach we've seen from him all year. And if he does that, he should be able to solve this 5-bar bullpen that the Prowlers have, and crown himself a finalist. And if not, we could see an upset.
It'll be up to the Prowlers pitching to stifle that Surfers offense to give corruptionz a chance at winning this semifinal series, as well as for his bats to be consistent as we've seen them be throughout this postseason. It's going to be a huge matchup here between the Surfers and the Prowlers. We can't wait to get started with it. It looks like our 2 teams are just about ready to go. We will send you over to that live feed as soon as that loads in. And we are loading in here to Big Sky where JamPaladin and the Surfers will be the home team as they are the #1 seed. They have home field advantage throughout this entire AAA postseason as we get ready to start the final semifinal series across AAA. Mr. Hagrid will lead things off for the Prowlers, and Ryder Mitchell gets the start for the Surfers. And we are ready here for the first pitch from Mitchell. 5-pitch arsenal from the starter. Attacking the outside corner, gets the call for a strike. 99 miles per hour with that heat. Not the huge 99 velo that we're accustomed to seeing from this starter, but it's been working out for JamPaladin this season as this pitch is grounded to Cochran. She picks it up, fires it to first, out #1, and this game is underway.
Good rip from Corruptionz there, just got on top of it. Gonna be important here for him to score, if not in this inning, then potentially in the next one. Looks like he's gonna have his back to the wall here in the first.
2 quick outs for the Prowlers, the Surfers mowing him down. Only 5 pitches thrown from Ryder Mitchell so far. To those of you new to the AAA, as this one is lined into the glove of Wiggs, a nice hop from the third baseman to make it a 1-2-3 inning. We head to the bottom of the first. These games are played at a pretty high level. Just don't let the name AAA fool you. 80 ego for batting and 90 ego for everything else. Just 10 ego difference in the batting between AAA and XBL. And we can definitely bank on a likely appearance from both of these teams in the XBL next season, as this one is lined back up the middle into center field for a leadoff single.
Yeah, good hitting from Jam. Here he comes. This lineup, no holes in it.
With a weaker starting rotation, you see the Prowlers with Junk and Trunk getting the start, that huge velo, but not much of anything else, and only 4 pitches in her arsenal compared to the 5 from Ryder Mitchell. Still a good arsenal, though. Oh.
Yeah, two-bar rotation from the Prowlers. This could be a big double play here early.
And the Prowlers do turn that double play. A huge 2 outs there and nobody on. For a big threat at the plate, you know this name if you've been around here, Pond Nielsen.
Yeah, Pond Nielsen's so good, she almost kind of just became a meme in the AAA. Everybody knows who this is. This is Jam's best hitter.
Big swing and a miss at the high heat there. Only the 1 fastball and then 3 off-speed pitches for Junk and Trunk. As that one clips the inside corner, bringing the count to 1-2. A big at-bat here for the Prowlers. This one is hammered into right field for a base hit. Pond Nielsen is aboard.
And that's the importance of keeping those bases clear for these big guys. Shoot de Jesus is another big one. But good speed for Pond over on first. We'll see if Jam tries to move him potentially.
Shoot swings at the first pitch and pulls it foul. That one just off the plate. The 1-1 to Shoot is off the plate as well. You can see Corruptionz attacking that outside corner. This one hangs up over the plate but pushed foul. The 2-2 is swung on, crushed to deep center field. That baby's gone.
Wow, what a shot off the bat of de Jesus. No doubt about it. 450 feet to dead center. And that double play, it actually makes a pretty big difference. That only 2-run home run could have been a lot worse.
Instead of it being 4-0, the Prowlers have to work at a 2-run deficit. Junk and Trunk is now tense on the mound, gonna try to work out of it. But another big threat with Wendy Smile. Not a lot of power, but that huge contact means that she can reliably get on base. The 2-1 from Trunk misses. Oh, it catches the inside corner. Thought that was a little bit inside. The 2-2 is swung on. The first baseman jumps when he didn't have to, and that's going to roll into no man's land. A big 2-out single off the tricky play.
Yeah, maybe a little bit shell-shocked is Corruptionz. That was a play right at his first baseman. I think we've all been there where we panic a little bit and we just, we think it's over our head when it isn't. Oh, another hit here.
Yeah, this time right back up the middle to Little Strong Legs. First and second with 2 outs. The Prowlers definitely happy they were able to turn that double play earlier in the inning, but need to work out of it with Kent Norwest on them at the plate. Look at that pitch count. Junk and Trunk already into the 20s here in the first. Corruptionz, I'm sure, happy that he has that 5-bar pen to go to later in the game.
Yeah, it'll certainly be a factor, but like I said, the question is, can he limit the damage here and keep the game respectable?
Oh, that one left right up in the middle. The diving attempt from the second baseman is not in time. It's going to roll into center field all the way to the wall. The center fielder can't pick it up. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. And it's a bases clearing double, 4-0. Surfers lead in the first.
So the Surfers do end up getting those 4 runs that would have happened had he not grounded into the double play. So this one is going to produce the 5th run. But wow, Lightstack, that play at first that corruptionz jumped on when you didn't need to, that hurts him here. Bad.
Yes, dude, corruptionz needs to, push that to the back of his mind as this one is grounded to sacks. He goes to second, gets the play there, and the inning is over. But 5 big ones for the Surfers. The Prowlers need to answer back, and I'm thinking right now of that scrim you were talking about earlier, as this first pitch is lifted to the warning track. Pond Nielsen makes the catch.
Yeah, we mentioned the big scrim that these two players, they're both thinking about it. They've mentioned it many times, as this one's ripped.
Hit well, but contact swinging is caught in front of the warning track by Beck for 2 quick outs here.
It was a 25-24 final in favor of corruptionz. So scrims, you can say what you want about scrims, but they can give you some confidence if you produce good results against a great opponent like JamPaladin. Now corruptionz, instead of being doom and gloom, he's thinking, hey, I've done this before.
He's gonna need it to come. He's gonna need that moxie to come through again, as this one is lined to the gap in left field. That's gonna be a base hit. He's going to go for 2. The throw from Beck at second is in time! What a tag from Wendy Smile that sends us to the bottom of the second.
Nice play there from JamPaladin, using the dimensions of his own home ballpark to kind of deceive corruptionz into thinking he had an easy double. Guns him at second. Nice play.
And instead of extending the inning, Paladin Surfers coming back up to bat and already getting to work as that one is ripped into center field for a base hit. This one lined over the head of the first baseman. It lands fair. This will do some damage. He heads to second, so second and third with nobody out. The Surfers are it's batting practice for them out there.
Yeah, and look who's up with the RBI man activated.
Pond Nielsen. Can't really pitch around here. As this one is lined into center field, that'll score at least 1. Strong Legs is going to have to hurry to get that ball back in. The play at the plate is going to be cut off by the pitcher. Pond Nielsen gets into second. A big 2 RBI double there for the Surfers, 7-0. They're thinking mercy here in the second.
They absolutely are. They're going to possibly get the 8th run here. No, Jam's going to be patient. That's going to bring the winning run to the plate here in the second inning. This is a disaster for the Prowlers.
Mojo up for so many Surfers players right now. You can see them they can already taste this first semifinals win. Check swing at the low pitch, called a strike. Swings at the inside pitch. Jam getting a little bit antsy, knowing that the winning run is at the plate. This one is hit over the shortstop into left field. Oh, and some problems picking up the ball in the outfield. That could score another run. JamPaladin will hold his runners at second and third, but the winning run is at second base here in the second. Dorian Wiggs at the plate with nobody out. She hammers this one to center field. This game is over. The Surfers take it 11-0 on a walk-off win in the second inning.
Wow, how long have we been live? 19 minutes? 5 minutes of music, 5 minutes of pregame. That was a 10-minute ball game. JamPaladin, wow, putting on a show.
And the teams must now bunt it out. Not sure if there is any confusion there for corruptionz. Does not appear to be, as that one goes foul. So yeah, while these two bunted out, because we do need the bunt out to happen for official scorekeeping purposes for the league, the bunt out will realistically take more time than the actual game.
Yeah, in effect, it certainly will, and obviously we'll see these guys straighten out their bunt attempts so that they don't, put them down the line. We can go a little bit quicker here. If you're wondering what in the world's going on, if you're just tuning in, you see the score and you see the winning player is bunting. He has secured a mercy win by virtue of leading by 10 after the home half of an inning. that is a rule that was kind of thrust upon us this season with the addition of online leagues and you know, not being able to turn off that mercy feature in online leagues. So we had to carry it over to these playoffs. And just kind of bear with us. We're gonna have to get through this one so we can get to the stat uh, pages at the end of the screen. And Lightstack, this is a feeling I know a little too well. Uh, la- Lazy hitting me with his own 2-inning mercy a few days ago. So
Half
we
of I'm
yeah.
no stranger to this. Half of the games that I play, I can't believe this now that I'm thinking about it. Half of the games that I played in my semifinal series versus Ashnod's Coupon, who has moved on to the World Series,
Uh-huh.
half of those ended in mercy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's almost surprising to say, yeah, oh yeah, I mercied this guy or he mercied me, but when when the runs are flying, it just takes a couple scoreless innings to put a ball game away. But yeah,
and
big win here for Jam.
when
What?
the
Sorry, go ahead.
when the bats are as hot as they are in this league, I mean, there are some teams that will put up big runs every time, even against these 99 velo pitchers here at 90 or 80 ego. These people are able to, hammer the ball, and there's always that question of, will we see a mercy win, no matter who's up?
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy to think that you can even have game potential mercies in a playoff game because of how the competition is so good. But here we are. We've seen it a good handful of times. It's happened to you. It's happened to me. But JamPaladin getting the big game one mercy here. But don't don't think for a second that despite this horrible start for corruptionz, don't think that he's not gonna come back and try and be resilient here in the next few games.
And as I've said in series before, the fact that the mercy happened so early and they have to do this bunt out now could be very good for corruptionz. He's able to. There's our first bunt single. Just a little bit too much speed there. We'll see if they try to turn two. Oh, that one goes foul. Steal. What? Oh, tried to let himself get thrown out. There you go.
Absolutely, yeah.
Good sportsmanship there. These guys need to work on their bunting approach here.
It would seem so. Dwayne and I made some funny comments watching you and Astronaut bunted out. How it seemed like you were pretty darn good at popping it right back to his catcher, BB King. So.
Years of practice bunting out. Unfortunately,
Yes.
that happened in the actual game, if I do recall correctly. I did a
Oh,
bunt.
no.
I did a bunt attempt and flipped it right back into the catcher for an easy double play for Ashton.
Yeah,
but that's behind us.
Anyone who says they haven't been there is lying.
We've all been there. But as I was saying before, corruptionz, this could be good for him. We have this good stretch of 5 to 10 minutes now while we're doing this bunt out where he can just de-stress, put this game one behind him, and focus on what he's going to be able to do in game two. Try to, relax. Just think about how he's going to have to improve his pitching game against, the best hitter in AAA, JamPaladin. We've seen why he has the record he has in AAA with how dominant that offensive display just was. And probably also thinking about his own batting and how he's going to have to try and get some runs early in the next game.
Yeah, if you're corruptionz, that's exactly what you're thinking about. You're thinking about ways that you can potentially, mitigate the damage. You're not going to shut out JamPaladin, right? It's probably not going to happen. So you got to hold them to 1-run innings, maybe some 2-run innings, maybe a little bit more than that. But you cannot let these huge early innings, what is the word I'm thinking of? Transpire. You cannot let them transpire. You need to, and you need to be able to put up runs of your own. You got to keep that 10-run deficit from becoming a thing.
And for those of you who are just joining us, the 10-run deficit is what has resulted in this. In the second inning, the Surfers went up 11-0 against the Prowlers, and by virtue of 10-run mercy, they have won Game 1 of this semifinals matchup. But don't go anywhere. Game 2 will follow right after this, and later tonight we will be back with Games 3 and 4 of this series. I believe that is at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.
Correct. Yeah, should be a fun day of baseball. Hopefully we have a little more hitting, a little less bunting, but that's just a testament to the strength of JamPaladin and the Malibu Surfers.
Absolutely. And we said, a really good day of baseball. It should also be a good weekend of baseball because tomorrow, if this game needs 5, 6, and 7 games of this series, those will be streamed tomorrow here on this channel. This is a
Absolutely.
best of 7 series. But also tomorrow, we will be streaming the first game or first 2 games.
First 2 games of the XBL World Series.
That is going to be a huge, huge matchup between Lazy and Ashnod's Coupon. The Tokyo Jackals, the number 1 seed, taking on the number 2 seed, Chicago Blues. We hope to see you there for that because that is just going to be absolutely insane. Of course, the series won't be decided in that broadcast, but we'll get off to a really good start, and we'll be able to see how that series starts out and what Lazy's going to bring to the table. Will we see the Long Ballo Award winner, who has been through some troublesome series on his way here to the World Series? Lazy, as we know, a similar record to JamPaladin here, 32-2 as the number 1 seed in the regular season, but he's been handed 4 losses so far in this postseason. 2 at the hands of Mantis Toboggan and his Junkyard Jabronis in the quarterfinals, and 2 against you, Weaver, and your Beavers.
Yeah, a couple losses in both those series, but don't think for a second that Lazy is feeling down on himself going into the Ashnod series. He swept Ashnod in the regular season. He was able to make good late pushes in both games. He knows he can hit Ashnod. And he knows he can put a lid on Ash. No one's going to shut him out. Just like we said that about JamPaladin, but there is lid potential. I'll call it. There is always potential to keep games where you want them. That series is going to be top notch. It's the series we all predicted maybe preseason.
It's one of those interesting games where we've talked about how important batting can be. It might be pitching that ends up deciding that, and how Ash is able to adapt. One of the worst pitching in the league. Against Lazy's huge offense, and how Lazy's pitching is going to have to go up against some of the best bats in the league with Ashnod.
Yeah, that will be a series to behold, and it looks like we are done bunting here with this Game 1 Prowlers and Surfers, so we shall get into Game 2 before too long, and get you that.
Yeah, we'll hope that corruptionz and JamPaladin will be able to load in rather quickly to game number 2 here. corruptionz will be the home team. The Surfers will be away. And it'll be interesting to see if corruptionz feels a little bit more comfortable playing in his home ballpark, not up against this dominant Surfers offense in this hitter's ballpark.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more comfort. Obviously, I don't think it's going to make JamPaladin any more uncomfortable than he is.
Oh,
he
absolutely
looks locked in, right? But ballpark is going to get a bit of a size increase. But Big Sky, one of the hitters' ballparks. But we're moving to a pitcher's park in Emerald Diamond as soon as these two get on to game 2 here. And other than the short porch in left field, it's not the easiest park to hit a home run in, but I would still expect some fireworks from these Surfers.
The Surfers are definitely going to try to go yard again in game 2. Really going to try to extend that series lead to 2-0. corruptionz is going to have to do his best to try and hold it and tie this series up at 1-1. I think that would be a huge momentum shift in favor of the Prowlers going into tonight's 2 games that we'll be seeing. But first things first, he's going to have to figure out a way to stifle that JamPaladin offense, or at the very least match it with his own batting, which we know he can do. Again, thinking about that scrim.
Yeah, he can certainly do it. Even not looking at the scrim, these two played both of their final series of the season was against each other. It was right there at the end, and even those games were pretty close. I don't believe either of them was a mercy, and they were both high scoring. So hopefully we see a little bit more of that. We are moments away from starting game 2.
I'm sure the last thing corruptionz wants is to be shut out against JamPaladin in these first 2 games. You can definitely look to see him try to get something started early in this game. But As the away team, JamPaladin will be up first to bat, so already I think the pressure's on corruption's side.
Yeah, certainly the pressure is on. Not only does Jam have a 1-0 lead, which isn't the biggest thing in the world, what you and I both experienced having a small lead in our series, but just as far as pressure goes, the score is definitely what's putting the pressure on, not so much the series lead. But now that corruptionz is the home team, that at least gives him a bit of a cushion should the game steer towards that mercy territory. He can get at least his last home field chance to answer back.
Absolutely. As the home team, yes, he will have that option. If the Surfers push into 10-run territory, the Prowlers have their chance to answer back, which they might have to do early, as this one is hit to the gap in right field. It's hit well. It's all the way to the wall. It bounces off the wall. Just a bit too low to get out of there, but it will be a lead-off triple. The Surfers showing that Game 1 was not a fluke.
Yeah, I know that corner well. I also played Emerald Diamond, and it just seems like anytime you get a hitter with 85 or more speed to hit a ball in that right center field gap, it's almost a guaranteed triple. It happens there, and the ground out gives the Surfers the lead.
A ground out RBI from the second batter brings up Pond Nielsen with nobody on, but a 1-0 lead here early for the Surfers. Nielsen in the hole 0-2 against lefty Lucy. She lays off the outside breaking pitch. Fastball, cutter, curveball, and change for lefty Lucy, who misses inside. The 2-2. Just a bit inside again. Brings the count full to Pond Nielsen. Right down the middle, right down Broadway, launched to center field. Just over the yellow line, it's gone. Pond Nielsen going yard here, 420, blaze it.
That was roped. I mean, I wish we could see, something like launch angle on that one. That was beautiful.
Big line drive shot there for Pond Nielsen to make it a 2-0 game in favor of the Surfers here in the first. And it might be 3-0 as this one is launched to right field, and it is gone. The Surfers lead it 3-0 here in the first.
My oh my, JamPaladin not bothered by that 15, 10, whatever, how long it was. That little bunting layoff. He's not bothered by it. He leads 3-0. Back-to-back homers from Nielsen and DeJesus. Probably the 50th time this season that's happened.
Wendy Smile gets a favorable count 2-0 here from lefty Lucy.
No, that's inside.
Only one out recorded so far for the Prowlers. This one, Anburn makes a good dive to keep the ball from getting into the outfield, and the play at first is in time. A great play there from the Prowlers infield. Dorian Wiggs bats with nobody on and 2 outs. Swings at the first pitch. It was a good one. She just got under it. Lifted into shallow right field. Anburn makes the catch. We head to the bottom of the inning. 3 big runs on the heels of back-to-back homers for the Surfers. Prowler's turn to answer back.
Already a better start there. I believe he gave up 4 runs in the first inning of the first game. So only allowing 3 here. That's not bad.
And first pitch swinging here for the Prowlers. corruptionz gets a nice single into left field. Runner on first and nobody out here for Savvy Sweets.
And just to finish my thought there, I said it's not bad to give up 3 runs. It is bad, but if you can score like corruptionz can, then it's manageable.
Oh, Pond Nielsen plays that one on a hop, electing not to dive for it. First and second with nobody out for a little strong legs. He wasn't able to get on the board in the first game. He's threatening early here. Is corruptionz. August Sardines is on the mound for JamPaladin. Good velo, decent junk and accuracy. This one is lined into left field. Pond Nielsen catches it before it hits the ground. Runner is caught between second and third, but Paladin throws it to third. Everyone safe.
Wow, Paladin really thought that was going to drop, so he committed that throw to third.
It was a close play from Pond Nielsen, who dropped that ball in left field earlier. Well, not dropped, but rather played it on a hop.
Sure.
Able to catch that one. Does that one nicks the outside corner? 1-2 to Big Al hits dingers. He's able to fight that one off. Spoiling a good pitch there from Sardines. Screwball doesn't catch the plate. The 2-2. Just a bit low. Brings the count full. First and second with 1 out. takes the ball.
That is an excellent take. We haven't really been able to talk about it because the first game was over in an instant, and then he's just batting now in his first inning here. But corruptionz, one of the best eyes is that one's ripped. That should be an out.
Oh, and it looks like the Prowlers lost track of how many outs there were. Everybody was going, and the ball was thrown towards home. Again, everybody safe on a misplay on defense from Jam.
Yeah, with the speed on third, decent but not elite by any stretch of the imagination. I think he may be out at the plate provided there isn't a dropped ball by the catcher. But in any case, still a good chance for Saxophone here.
The RBI man is activated for the shortstop. A big opportunity here for the Prowlers. Bases loaded with 2 outs. The low change is hammered right back up the middle. That'll score 1 run. It's hit hard. Beck's going to hurry to get the ball back in. The bases will stay loaded, but the Prowlers are on the board here in the first.
And there's that response that corruptionz had to make. You cannot just let the runs pile up against you. You have to answer, and he did.
Hitters count here for Anburn, who made a couple of good catches in the top of the inning. The 3-0. There's nowhere to put him. That pitch is taken for a strike. Goes low with the change. Swung on and fouled off. Full count with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Big opportunity here for both of these teams.
We'll see if he can start the runners here. He does not.
corruptionz wants to get back in this one. JamPaladin wants to keep it where it is. Swing and a miss! Got him on the heater on the outside corner.
Good pitch there at 98. I'm a little surprised, actually, that corruptionz didn't get some wood on it. He is probably the best contact hitter. No, not probably. He is the best contact hitter in the AAA. I would have expected maybe. I'm surprised he whiffed. That's all.
It was a really good placement of a pitch there from JamPaladin. And with that 98, maybe he was thinking about something off speed as this one is launched to right field. Does JamPaladin get that run back? He does. 3 home runs so far in this game for JamPaladin and the Surfers.
Yeah, Malibu Surfers looking like the 27 Yankees. Murderers row out here. Everyone's getting a dinger. And I wouldn't expect it to stop as that one's hit hard, but mercifully is caught.
Celine Weeks wanted to get in on the action there, but lined it into center field for out number 1. 4-1, the Surfers lead here in the top of the second. Bottom of the order, Kurt Richardson for the Surfers up to bat as he loops this one into center field. Weak contact, but it's a hit nonetheless. Little strong legs just holding on to the ball in center field. And I feel for corruptionz there. That's one of those hits going up against a power hitter like Jam. It always feels. Yeah, just push that to the back of your head that they got that weak contact hit.
Yeah, especially on a pitch that to me looked like it was just above the zone. Anytime when you're facing guys of this caliber, I experienced it myself playing against Lazy. You probably experienced it playing against Ash. When you make a pitch out of the zone, instantly in your mind you're like, oh, okay, they're not going to swing. And then when they do, you don't expect them to get the hit. Yeah, that can't feel good.
Exactly. This one is lined into center field. First and second with 1 out here for the Surfers as they're putting on a show. And when you do throw it outside of the zone, you're either like, they're not going to swing, or if they do swing, it's a strike or an out. And instead they loop it for a base hit.
Sure,
corruptionz needs to hunker down here, try to turn a double play, get out of this inning. Edwin Beck hammers that one on the ground, but it goes foul. Tough out activates for Edwin Beck. Look at those stats. The 1-2 from Lucy, it misses low. And the 2-2 right down the middle. That'll be looped into right field for a base hit. Unable to cut it off is the right fielder. 1 run will score. Second and third here for the Surfers. 5-1 they lead.
And again, just like in the first inning, corruptionz has to bear down here and figure out a way to get these 2 outs and keep the game where it is.
Lefty
Pond Nielsen at the plate.
Lefty Lucy is rattled against Pond Nielsen. Gets into a good count. 1-2. Just a bit outside. The 2-2 is hammered to center field. Does it have enough to get to the warning track? It does. 2 runs will score. Another bases clearing hit from Pond Nielsen. 7-1 the Surfers lead. We'll see if the Prowlers go to the bullpen here, which is something they didn't do in game 1.
Yeah, I think the game plan the game plan for corruptions, not only in this game but in most of his games, he just needs a couple, maybe 3 innings out of his
Oh,
starter. Oh, that's going to be the 8th run.
a misplay in left field by corruptionz. It'll go as another double for the Surfers. 8-1 they lead. They're smelling mercy again here in the second.
Yeah, it does happen sometimes when you play the big dogs. They hit the ball so hard you almost don't have the time to realize where it's going. Oh, another one dropped.
Another back-to-back defensive misplays by the Prowlers brings the mercy-threatening run to the plate in Dorian Wiggs. Runners at the corners with one out. Check swing on the pitch down the middle. The 0-1 is hammered back up the middle. That'll score one. 9-1 the Surfers lead. First and second with one out.
Yeah, and like you said, no winning runs or anything on, because Pawtucket would have a chance to make something of a comeback attempt in their own home half, but still big threatening runs out there.
This one is jacked into right field. If it's fair, it's gone. It's gone into the seats. A 3-run jack from JamPaladin, putting on a clinic here versus Pawtucket in the AAA semifinals. 12-1, the Surfers lead in the second.
Yeah, any questions about JamPaladin's long layoff? He hasn't played, or he hadn't. Yeah, he hasn't played in so long because it was something like 2 weeks ago when he played Captain Krill. He had to wait on his opponent here for a while. Those questions are put to rest. He is popping off.
Not a hint of rust on this Surfers team. Kurt Richardson is taking them down the middle, then hammers the 2-strike pitch back up the middle, keeping this inning going for the Surfers. First and second with one out. And you have to wonder here, if you're corruptionz, here as he goes to the bullpen in the top of the second, thinking ahead to the bottom of the inning and just trying to get out of this one. This one is caught by Dawes off for what seems like out two that has been a long time coming.
Yeah, can't remember how long ago the last out was. Does he make it the third one? Yeah, 2 rips, but right at defenders. And now corruptionz has to score twice to keep this game alive.
The magic number here for the Prowlers is 3. They need to get to 3 runs at least to stay in this game. First pitch is swung on into foul territory. Norwest is going to have to hustle. Gets under it. He makes the grab. 1 pitch, 1 out. And just like that, the Surfers are only 2 outs away. And Beck is going to have to run in to make that couch, but he does. 2 pitches, 2 outs. 1 out away from taking a 2-0 lead here in this AAA semifinal series. This one is looped into left field. Pond Nielsen catches it, and by virtue of mercy, the Malibu Surfers take game 2. 4 innings played total in this series so far, and yet the Surfers have a 2-0 lead.
This is far and away the most dominant performance we've seen from anybody in these playoffs, with the possible exception of the Ashnod Ted series. I actually didn't get to catch any of that, but I mean, back-to-back 2-inning games, it doesn't get much more dominant. This is JamPaladin at his peak right now, and if you're it's only a 2-0 series. Of course, like we said earlier, we shall have games 4 and 5 later on tonight at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern p.m. But if you're B. Hagen, you're starting to get a bit nervous, maybe.
Oh, definitely. Just seeing how unstoppable JamPaladin is right now, you gotta wonder if you're corruptionz. What mental and what decisions do we have to make heading into tonight's games? You have a lot of time to think about it, a lot of time to practice if that's what you want to do. I'm not 100% sure what corruptionz game plan is for the rest of the day heading into that night series, but clearly a lot of work ahead for the Prowlers if they want to stifle this Surfers offense and keep them, in this postseason.
Yeah, a tall order on their plate. They need to take, whatever it is that they're doing. That he needs to reset his mind, just forget about these games, and try and just pitch just a little bit better. Try and nick those corners. I know it's a bit of a a bad piece of advice. Just pitch better, right? No,
It's as
it's
simple as
never
that.
easy. Yeah, it's never easy against these guys, but he can do it. He can make this a closer series than it has been. It has not been even remotely close, and yeah, he needs to take whatever time he has until 5 o'clock, so about 6 hours, and just try and reset, try and come back with a strong mindset. This is far from over.
And one other thing to think about, it wasn't until after in game one he never even brought it up, but in game two it wasn't until after he was already in Mercy territory that he went to his lauded bullpen.
Yeah, 5 bar pen. So lots, as you know well, lots of potential there to get zeros, put zeros on the board to fool the batter. The problem is it's just a bit risky. You can maybe ride a 5 bar pen 9 inning, or I guess in corruption's case he would need about eight because the starters are only getting 3 or 4 outs. You can maybe ride a 5 bar pen 8 innings. The question is, in the event of a tie, if you go to extra innings, you're really just out of luck. So anyone when you're managing a pen, the question is always how long can I ride this guy safely before I have to go to this guy, and so on and so forth. So yeah, that is going to be. You're right. That's going to be a big question mark going into games 3 and 4.
To see if corruptionz makes any adjustments on the pitching side in those games later this evening. We hope to see you there for that. The time again, please, Weaver.
5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern.
And we will be back here broadcasting games 3 and 4 of this AAA semifinal series where corruptionz and the Pawtucket Prowlers will do their best to tie this series back up, but JamPaladin and the Malibu Surfers will be looking to try and sweep the Prowlers and get to the AAA World Series. Well, they will face the winner of this series will face B. Hagen and the Nanaimo Megafauna in what promises to be an amazing first ever XBL AAA World Series. I'm just I'm just so excited thinking about it, Weaver.
Yeah, it'll be exciting. I think if you asked, we said this about the XBL World Series. If you asked people preseason what they thought the World Series would be, if they didn't bet on themselves, they would bet on Lazy versus Ash. I think you could probably say something similar about the AAA World Series. People, I know I would have made this bet. I would have said JamPaladin versus B. Hagen, and JamPaladin only 2 wins away from getting it done. Certainly potential for corruptionz to pull off the comeback, but the way if JamPaladin doesn't stop hitting like this, I don't see it. But again, we will just have to find out.
And find out we will at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, here on the XBL Twitch channel. We hope that you follow. Hope to see you there for tonight's broadcast. If not, you can always watch our VODs in the archive section here on Twitch or on our YouTube channel. Thank you all so much for watching. We hope you're staying safe and healthy out there. For Weaver for Prez, I'm Light Snack, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. We'll see you all next time. Thank you for watching.
Bye, everyone.